Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44. So I figured I'd try to give you a little something that's a little different. Yesterday I made a video about relationship stuff. I ain't gonna say relationships in general, but just a few things to look out for. Try to keep your mate happy, or try to make sure you're choosing the right mate, or what have you. Today I want to talk a little bit about something along those lines. It's more so about making sure you don't give your energy to the wrong people, or to people that don't want to return that energy to you. A lot of times, people do that and they find themselves having it happen to them. I'm one of those people that I did this to a lot of people when I was younger. Not just in relationship stuff, but just in general. I was an introvert, very, very insecure, very, very happy with being by myself. And sometimes people would reach out to me and I would not return their calls, not return their texts, not um, give them back the same energy that they're giving me. And it's been done many, many times with me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Um, there was just a long period of time where I only wanted to communicate with people on my terms. And if you weren't someone very close to me, or if you weren't absolutely what I wanted you to be, you weren't getting a whole lot of time out of me. I would take what I wanted to take and leave the rest. Like, that was just how I operated. I grew older and I realized that it sucks to be on the other side of that. I had it happen to me, trying to reach out to somebody, trying to make be in someone's life, and they just give me no attention. And I know that it's more or less karma and my own psychological makeup, because it comes down to the people who are giving you attention you're not giving it to. You're chasing after someone who doesn't want to give you attention. It's a vicious cycle and you find yourself unhappy. I would say go for what wants you, but that's not always what's best either. But the most important thing is to just make sure you're not giving your attention to people that don't want to give it to you. And you're not putting in more into a situation than you're getting back. Because you're going to feel strained. You're going to be strained. Even if you're the type of person that likes to give, you should probably take back as much as you would like to take back, I would say. Don't allow yourself to be cheated out of the energy that you're looking for, because at the end of the day you live one time, and a lot of times uh, we live, especially as young people, we live as if we're going to be young forever. We live as if we're going to look this way forever. We live as if the energy that we have in our spirit, in our minds, and in our bodies is going to be here forever, and the reality is nope, it's not. And you are going to get to a point where you're not as desirable anymore, unless you got a lot of money, and even then it's not the same. In terms of, people are going to want you for your money, and if you have a lot of money now, they still want you for your money, whether you look a certain way or you don't. So that's kind of a different conversation. But for those of us who are just pretty much regular people, um, we have to make sure that we protect our energy. We have to make sure we protect our energy, and make sure that we put in what we intend to put in, and make sure we receive what it is that we expect to receive for what we've put in. And that's what this is all about. I've had situations also since we're here, where I've had a couple of people that I've been close to. They've had psychological concerns with trust, psychological concerns with being close to people. And one of the reasons why I found myself getting close to people like that is because I was like that, so I kind of understand it. But it does suck when you're sitting there reaching out, reaching out, reaching out, even when you understand those people's mindset and you understand that they do care about you, they just have what it is that they have going on. It still doesn't feel good after a while when you're sitting there reaching, 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 and they don't have any concern to return that energy. So I would just tell people, don't do what I did. Don't find yourself close to people that don't want to give you that energy. Don't find yourself trying to help people who are not yet ready to be helped by you. It becomes a situation where you're just setting yourself up for heartbreak or disappointment or what have you. It does not feel good to be in that position. And a lot of times we just want what we cannot have. Humans, it's human nature to kind of want the best of things, but maybe you don't bring the best of the things to the table. I can relate to that. I want what I want, but maybe I don't bring enough to the table to make it so that I'm best for what it is that I want. Does that mean that I don't deserve it? Maybe, to be honest, maybe. But it definitely means that I should not have it, because I'm not going to do with it what I should. And that's the truth. A lot of us want the best of things, but we're not prepared to have nice things. And that's something that we need to condition our minds to be better about. Some people think that they deserve everything the world provides them just simply because they're them. And then there are a lot of us who are unselfish, who just want to share. But at the end of the day, you got to find a balance for whatever personality that you have. And most importantly, if you're selfish, it's going to come back to you. Whatever way you're treating others. And this is just something that I've seen in my own life. However you're treating others, if you're putting people on the back burner, if you got people in your life that really, really, really care about you, and you haven't communicated to them that you don't feel that way, and you're just feeding off of their good energy toward you because it just feels good, you're going to have that happen to you when you least expect it and when you want it least to happen. That one person that you're going to really, really be into, they're not going to pay you no attention. That one friend that you really, really want next to you, they're not going to be there when you need them the most. If you weren't there for somebody else, if you weren't willing to give that energy to somebody, if you weren't willing to sit down and have that conversation and say, yo, you want something out of this situation I'm not willing to give. And I've been there. I had a friend, I never got close to her, but she's, we messed around. We did this for a while, and I didn't really have feelings for her. Like, there was no feelings. It was friendly to me. For me, though, the way that I operated, I let her know how I felt. I let her know that it wasn't headed where she wanted it to go, and I let her dictate terms. So when she was ready to walk away from the situation, I didn't fight her about it. Maybe a year passed, and then she came back into my life and proceeded to go at it. That's how I operate when I know I don't want you. If I don't want you, you dictate terms. You know what I mean? If I don't want you in a serious way, but I want to have a little fun, I'm not going to, hey, come over. Let me game you up. Let me give you lies. Let me tell you something that ain't true, so you just be here and give me what I want and not complain about it. Nah. That shit come back to you. That shit comes back to you. You know what I mean? And it comes back to you, like I said, when you least expect it and when you least need it to happen. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, a lot of people, I speak not in a sexist way, but, in a way that just speaks to what it is. A lot of women, they just want dudes for their money. A lot of men just want women for their money. They go after the sugar mama, they go after the rich girl or what have you because they can do it for whatever reason. And that situation goes south a lot of times. And a lot of those cases, they haven't gone south yet. A lot of times we look up and see, you think people living happily ever after? Nah, their story's not over yet. There's still some more time left. The karma that they got coming is still coming. It's just August 17, 2020. Let's see where they at in August 17, 2024. There's still time left. And that's what I tell to a lot of people who have bad karma coming. Yeah, you're still on the clock, buddy. You ain't out here yet. And a lot of times people would, like I said, after people for money and things of that nature, that goes south. That goes south. You take that money from that person there, you're going to have somebody trying to do the same thing to you. They're going to do the same thing to you. You're going to try to clear that person out. You got with that person strictly for reasons because they look a certain way. You don't care about their spirit. You don't care about their mind. You don't give a damn about their history or who they are. They don't even mesh well with you, but she fine. That dude look a certain way. He tall. Okay, cool. But you get with people for the wrong reasons, you ain't gonna have that sturdy foundation that allows you to grow with somebody, forgive somebody for the mistakes, all the stuff that makes the relationship work. You don't have any of that. Why? Because you went after aesthetics. You went after looks. You went after money. You went after that kind of thing. And love is not enough to make a relationship work. But without love, you don't have a relationship. I can tell you that right now. There's a lot of things that you need in your relationship. Love is definitely one of them. But at the same time, as I said, it's not enough. Sometimes you need more than that. You need more than that, but cannot be without that. You got to care about each other enough. And sometimes people don't give a damn about no love. They're looking for cash. They're looking for a payday. They're looking for security. They're looking for somebody to take care of them so they don't have to work again. I've seen several memes put up. A couple people say, I don't ever want to work again. I just want to find somebody that'll pay my way through this life so I can sit down and be as happy as I want to be. And I don't think that God appreciates that, honestly. I don't think that he put anybody here for that. You have a responsibility, even if it's just to your home and to your children. You're going to work. You are going to work. And And I think that that's what it really comes down to. And again, I'm not speaking to those who are extremely wealthy, because quite honestly, their lives are different. They don't they don't live by the things that I can relate to. And so if you're watching this and you're one of those people, just consider this a perspective piece, because this is not something that I think you'll relate to in a lot of ways. But in some you will. And I think that you should shoot for having something that's organic, that isn't attached to the lifestyle that you can provide somebody else. Because that happiness that you want, that comes from support. And that support comes from true care and loyalty. And a lot of times money just doesn't buy that. It doesn't buy that. It will buy loyalty to some degrees, but not as it pertains to somebody wanting to sit down, hold your hand, and help you through something that you need them to help you through. And you will find out that sometimes the people that are doing that for you are the people that you did not want. They're the ones that would have been there for you when you needed them the most. Now, does that mean you're supposed to settle for somebody that you don't want? No, but that's just the harm of the universe. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a perfect game that we're playing here. Sometimes the people who have the best spirits don't have the greatest looks, don't have the greatest habits, don't have the greatest of things, but they are who they are, and they're great at what they bring to the table. And sometimes a lot of us who run around looking for physical things miss out on the fruit and the wisdom that comes with people that just may not be all that cute to you, quite honestly. So I try to treat people with respect. And two, I mean, it's a dark world. The most beautiful woman in the world, something may happen to her face. We've seen it before. The most handsome guy in the world, most athletic dude in the world. He may pass away a paraplegic. Like, those type of things do take place. If you don't have somebody next to you that you can honestly stand, like put up with, and somebody who really, really genuinely wants to see you happy even after you're not as attractive, then chances are you're not going to live as happy a life as you probably deserve to. You'll have kids maybe, you'll have money maybe, you'll have a lot of big, nice things. But what you won't have is emotional support from your partner. And that, my friends, is an unhappy home, a very unhappy home. And that is something that crosses all lines of status and bank accounts or what have you. You can be the richest person or someone who doesn't have a whole lot. And that's going to matter. You're going to want somebody next to you when you want somebody next to you. Someone that's going to really be there for you. So try not to treat people poorly because of that. Try to be as honest and fair about how you handle things because of that. That's the wisdom I want to share. Not everybody's going to follow that. Sometimes manipulation for a lot of minds is too easy, and they rely upon it. But remember, the most difficult thing to do in a situation often is the most fruitful thing to do. Sometimes taking the easiest route only makes you weak, fat and happy, and ultimately a target. And that's something that we all have to be respectful of. There's a reason why greed is a problem. And it's not just because the Lord doesn't want us to have everything we want. It's because when you do take on everything you want, the adversity necessary to help callous you against the ills of the world often isn't found. You find yourself believing that the world is catered to you, believing that you're the center of the universe, believing that you don't have any purpose because you have already received what life is about to a lot of people. And that's the biggest fallacy that a lot of wealthy people grow up with, that they have nothing to live for because everybody around them is chasing money and they already have so much of it. You know what I mean? That everybody around them is chasing status and they were born with status. That can lead for a very depressing lifestyle if you don't have people around you to help you understand what else is out there for you besides chasing what you already have. And one of those things is obviously real human support, real love, real friendships, real partnerships of whatever kind. And I think the best way to try to vet as much of that nonsense away from you as possible is by being one of two things: kind as you can to people that you don't know, and know for that matter, kind as possible, within reason, and also unselfishness. It's very difficult for many to covet the things that someone who's willing to give want. You know what I mean? And there are a lot of people, a lot of personalities, maybe you're one of them, who relish off the idea of people not liking them for what it is that they have. They relish off the idea of being envied. They want so bad for others to envy them because they've envied others for a very long time or what have you. But that envy, that brings about a violence, not just violence, but indifference for your life. People will not care about you. They will pretend, obviously, and they will kiss up to you if they have to. But when they go back home to wherever they go, they're thinking dark thoughts about you. They're thinking about how they can pry you away from what it is that you have. Those demons don't often come around to those who are giving. Like really giving individuals, those who have a lot and give a lot. Yes, they're going to run into different types of demons, but not that envy demon that says, you're hoarding everything and I hate you for it. No, that type of demon comes from provoking others with the lack of humility, with the lack of kuf as it pertains to what it is you have. For example, if I walk into a regular bar or something like that, and I got on the highest, flyest jewelry, highest, most expensive clothing, highest, most expensive everything, yeah, there are gonna be some people who look at me and are appreciative of me, but there are gonna be some wolves outside who can't wait to catch me alone. You know what I mean? But if I come in there with a bag and I'm giving everybody everything I have, and I'm giving this, and this, you know what I'm gonna get a lot of? Thank yous. This guy's a real guy. This guy cares about people. This guy, yeah, it's gonna be a few people in the corner who hate you because they're gonna hate the love that you receive for being a giver. But what they're not gonna do is try to take from you what it is that you're giving away. They're not gonna try to take your life to keep you from giving to others. That's rare. You know, it's unselfishness that breeds respect and appreciation. It's unselfishness and an ability to put down some of the shallowness that people harbor, some of that shallow nature, some of that I want everything and I don't care who gets what, that as long as I'm involved, I'm happy energy. That stuff that breeds anger, that breeds hatred, that breeds jealousy, that breeds people wanting to get awful toward you. And you know, you got to really understand that if you're someone who has a lot, you know, and I know I've gotten away from the relationship talk, but it really does come back around, because when you're in a relationship, you're dealing with another person. And unselfishness, trust, being honest, those type of things help you navigate through the environment of your relationship, no matter what the situation is, whether you guys are struggling, doing well, have drama or not. If you can communicate in such a way that allows the person that you're with to understand that not only are you trying to be good to them, but you're trying to help them understand that you are, you know what I mean? Help them believe that you are. And that's something I touched on yesterday on another video. You want to help secure your partner. It's not necessarily your responsibility to force them to believe that you are who you're trying to be. It's not necessarily your responsibility to convince them that you will never look at another person again. That's not something that most people are going to be able to do. It's your responsibility to help them understand that you're with them 100%, that when you walk away from them, you're going to respect the fact that their feelings are attached to what it is that you do and don't do. And, you know, I would suggest, if you're not ready to make that type of sacrifice, that you seriously consider sacrificing the relationship itself. Because it ends so poorly for so many, so often, because of stuff like this. So poorly. Sometimes, as I've used the word, violent. And I say violent because when you hurt somebody's heart, they see red. 9 out of 10 personalities are going to be very, 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 very physical with you. And, you know, yes, it's condemnable if a man hits a woman. It's condemnable if a woman hits a man, or worse, obviously, if they do worse to one another. But you can see where people go, you know, you give 15, 20 years to a person, and they cheating you, they lying to you, they treating you like you don't matter, they being selfish with you, etc., etc. It starts to build. It starts to build. You know what I mean? You give them your all, you have children for them, what have you. Build. That conversation, and a lot of times people don't get help. Couple that with whatever they had coming into the relationship, whatever traumas, whatever circumstances, whatever they had going on. Maybe they don't deal with it. Maybe they crutch some of that with the relationship as opposed to dealing with it head on. And then you go break their heart. They do whatever they do. It goes some completely and utterly left sometimes, and a lot of that can be avoided by just being, as I've discussed, unselfish and et cetera, et cetera. Um, so yeah, I would encourage everybody to take what I've said here and give it whatever credence it deserves. I am not a relationship expert by any stretch of the imagination. I just have a little experience in treating people, not so good in terms of the energy that they're giving me versus what I'm returning, and not really having a care in my bones for them, but still sucking off of their energy, so to speak. Um, Pause for those who care, and not really not really being as upfront as I should have been early on when I had those intentions already in mind. Luckily enough, the relationship wasn't serious when the one that I'm thinking about, that specific situation wasn't serious, and we were able to get along and still maintain a nice friendship afterward. But I know I didn't treat that girl right. I know that, and because of it, I've ran into some women who didn't really give me the same energy that I was giving them. I'm throwing in 100, giving me half, or even less. So, yeah, it's about learning from those things, and I think that's ultimately what I was hoping to share with you guys. Anyway, my name is BDF44. Thanks for watching this video. I'm out.